Good morning, everyone. I'm your host, Sachi, and welcome to AI Minute Mondays. Today, we are diving into a shift that's happening in the world of websites and landing pages. For years, if we wanted to build a website or a landing page, we had to use stitch together manual templates, plugins, and do a lot of manual tweaking. Now, what this meant for small businesses and non technical owners was that they needed to hire a web developer or outsource the building of landing pages completely. Both of these were expensive options and sometimes resulted in landing pages which were not exactly what they had in mind. Now, AI agents are quietly rewriting this playbook. And what we are seeing now is that they're helping not just with the design of the landing page, but also with the complete workflow from building, testing, and optimizing it end to end. So today we are going to be in conversation with Yason K, who is the founder of Breba Apps and one of the persons who's leading this and at the forefront of this technology. Yason, very happy to have you here on the show. And
Yeah,
for the sake
thanks
of
for
our
having me.
viewers, can you share a little bit about your journey and why you started Breba?
Yeah. I started building websites 26 years ago. Or it's coming up to 27 now, but who's counting? So, I right away noticed that websites have a potential to let people express themselves online and uh, to build their online identity so that people can discover them, learn about their hobbies and all these things. But the HTML part of the website was always complicated, and it kept getting more and more complicated over time to where that, ability of everybody's going to have their own web page disappeared in the 2000s. It just became not possible. And with mobile and other complications, that just you know, uh, for business only,
Yeah.
basically. And then you had Facebook and other people providing individualized pages, right? And with AI, what I discovered is the AI produces websites pretty well, from the get-go. And then if you train it, you can get it to produce even better things. And so that's why I started Breba Apps. I was like, all right, finally, this dream of everybody being in control of their online content and persona is here. And I wanted to empower people, billions of people, to build billions of products or web pages or landing pages for themselves, for their hobbies. So that's how I arrived there.
Thank you. Thank you, Yason, for sharing that. Coming to our topic, you briefly mentioned about how AI agents are helping in the space for building landing pages. But can you elaborate a little bit more about what do you see as the real impact of using AI for building websites or landing pages? And how does an app like Breba make it easy for just about anyone to go ahead and design, build, deploy, and have their complete business presence or personal presence online in an easy manner? And another part to this question is how do you think this is different from the traditional no code UI based apps that you mentioned, like Facebook or any of those other platforms? So, how is this different from that? And what's the real change and impact?
Yeah. I think the two parts of the question are kind of related. So I'll just say, like, with no code, you had to learn the tools, you had to learn, they would solve certain problems, but you still have to navigate UIs that are complicated to figure out plugins. And then that's why you have, a couple hundred different website builders because each one is building its own kind of thing, right? But with the AI, the difference is that the AI basically can act as a personal developer, can do anything. It's not limited by the underlying system. It builds code from scratch, right? So here the power is that if you train the AI and have it be able to build websites the way that you want them, then you can achieve pretty much anything. So, for example, uh, you can easily say, "Hey, I want confetti or snowflakes falling down my website," and it will create that for you. It doesn't have to be in the underlying system. It's your imagination is basically the primary driver of what you can achieve. So that's the big shift where you're not limited, you're empowered, and AI is just taking care of the underlying code. But also you can talk to it using language instead of using complicated UIs. So that's another big benefit.
Thank you, Yason. That sounds interesting. And the way you put it, you're not limited, you are empowered. So, apps like Breba are helping end users who have no idea of technology just chat and say what they want, and their creativity can come to life, right? So, yeah, so that's absolutely amazing. But some people worry that in this age where AI is taking over building of landing pages, somewhere we are going to lose our creativity and every landing page is going to look just like every other landing page. So, what are your thoughts on this and how can we avoid falling into this kind of a pitfall?
Yeah, I think one thing to keep in mind, AI is still just a tool. It's just a much more sophisticated tool. So if you are a more artistic person, you'll be able to create more artistic pages. If you are more user experience person, your user experience with AI will still be better because one of the pitfalls is it will do whatever you tell it to do. So if you give it something to do something bad, that's not good UX, not pretty, it will do it for you. If you don't care, it will give you something that works for most people. That's where you have that danger of everything kind of looking the same. The only kind of counterweight to it is if you look at the web today, it already pretty much everything looks almost the same because
Yeah,
every store copies Amazon and
yeah,
Shopify, right? So
yeah.
every store is going to look basically the same. So for people who care about providing value for their specific niche, they don't care about the design being very intricate. They just want it to be utilitarian, right?
Yeah.
But if you are that artistic person and you want, dolphins following your cursor around the page as you're moving it around, you can do that. So,
Thank you, Yason. That explains it perfectly. So, what I hear you say is that it amplifies what you have. So, if you are creative, the AI will help amplify that and help you build a creative website without you needing to learn how to code or needing to know the intricacies of HTML or Markdown.
mhm.
But if you are not very creative, you might end up with a landing page that's similar to other landing pages of other companies. But that could also be okay if your focus is not on the aesthetics as much as it is about just having your presence there and having your business there.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so great points there, Yason. Thank you for sharing that. And for founders, creators, and small businesses, everyone who's trying to get landing pages, this is the time to go ahead, make sure that you have your business presence there. And we will share more details about Breba apps and how you can sign up to try it out and use Breba apps in the comments. And thank you all for joining us. It's to everyone watching, stay tuned. We have lots of episodes coming up, and it's been absolutely great to have you, Yason,
Yeah. Thanks
clarify
for
and
having me.
share these insights.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.